What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Business Beavers podcast, a podcast about everything entrepreneur, business, building your life, and building your happiness, with your hosts, Cody Smith and Mark Brisbois. Hope you enjoy this episode, and make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, that should work.
Okay, great.
I don't know. We're just going to roll with it.
This is the Business Beavers podcast. Good morning, everyone. And today we are going to talk about Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
I am Mark Brisbois, and I am joined with, as always, the beautiful and handsome Cody Smith.
Hey,
How
I
are
did
you?
my hair this morning.
Yeah, it looks fresh.
For those of you who can't see it, I have tried a new hair gel.
Oh, you did? You didn't even...
Rocky Mountain, Canada made, out in Niagara Falls. Big shout out. Maybe we can get some sponsorship.
That would be great.
I love it, man. It was $24 to get a 5-ounce jar. And it like works on smoothly, and then it hardens over time, and my hair doesn't fucking move.
I don't know. How should I style my hair? Because it's gotten pretty long. Like,
so for people that don't know, Mark is rocking a awesome man bun ponytail kind of deal. I'm digging it, man. Just keep it.
Do you
keep
think?
growing it.
Okay, fair enough.
Like it.
I look like that yoga. Did you ever play GTA 5?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that yoga instructor that was like banging one of the main character's wives?
Okay, no, I just ran around killing people.
Oh,
yeah, I did not.
I'm like, I have his haircut.
That's not what GTA 5 was for.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anyways, we are going to talk about Elon Musk, and I just want to get into it. So we're going to start with his childhood, because I think for even with Elizabeth Holmes, I think it's important to know where they came from and how they got to be who they are now.
Yeah, because
it's very
them, right?
Yeah. So his mom was Canadian, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And his father was South African.
Yeah, he was actually born and raised in South Africa.
He was, yeah.
South Africa. Yeah.
Was he? He was born and raised. That's right.
Yeah.
And then he later on in his life, he had the option of moving from South Africa to his mother or staying with his dad because his parents got divorced.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk said, and I quote, "I regret this decision."
He stayed with his dad, right?
He did, and he immediately, you talked to him today about it, and he does not like his father.
Yeah. Well, yeah, him and his father did not get along very well, but his mom was a model and dietitian.
Yeah,
His dad was an electrical engineer, basically.
He described his dad as evil and brilliant. His dad didn't do it when Elon Musk was a kid, but after Elon Musk had moved out, his father had remarried, and this is true. He had a child with his stepdaughter.
What?
Yeah, I read it because Elon Musk he
got married.
He got married, and then he's like, "Oh, that's stepdaughter." His stepdaughter, when he married the stepdaughter's mom, she was 4.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I read that because I was in the gym today, and I was right before we got into the studio, I was reading about Elon Musk hating his dad, and I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of interesting. This might be juicy. And then I read it, and I went, I said out loud in the gym, oh my god.
Have you seen the movie No Strings Attached?
No.
With goddamn, what's his name now? The guy from The Ranch. Fuck, what's his name?
You're killing me. I don't know what that is. The Ranch?
Yeah, The Ranch on the Netflix. But
oh, I haven't seen that. No, sorry.
Okay. Anyways, for viewers that are listening, No Strings Attached. I can't remember the actor's name or actress. Man, this is gonna haunt me. But that's what happens with him. He has his girlfriend. He breaks up with her. Sorry.
Yeah.
And his dad ends up banging his girlfriend. He goes over one day and she walks out of the bedroom and he's like, "You're fucking my ex-girlfriend," and he's 70 and she's 24.
Aside from would you count that as child abuse?
Well, how old was she?
I mean, she was old enough to have a kid, so
I mean, if she's legal, technically.
I mean, it doesn't make him a predator. It just makes him the ultimate scumbag.
It's just socially frowned upon, right?
Frowned upon. I mean, that's one way of putting it. Jesus.
Well,
I'd scowl upon it.
My husband had sex with my daughter. Oh,
that's
so wrong,
man. His father also killed 3 guys.
What?
Yeah. In self-defense. So I read about it, and I guess 3 guys invaded his house, and he shot them all dead.
Oh, okay. In South Africa?
Yeah.
Sounds like America.
Guns are pretty big in South Africa, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Elon Musk, when he was tremendously bullied, by the way, as a kid.
Yeah, he went to an all-boys school.
He did.
Yeah.
And what I find most interesting was his choice of author. He adored Isaac Asimov.
Who's that?
He is a author. He is a sci-fi author who has influenced. I mean, we might pause the podcast just for you to look it up. This guy he has created some great work. He created he made a book called The Foundation, and in the book, Elon Musk found inspiration where human race must overcome all of its vices and like literally like interstellar like travel, like set up colonies on Mars, and that's what inspired him.
He's doing.
Yeah.
Holy
As
shit.
a kid, yeah.
Wow. So at the age of 12, his dad, I believe, or someone gave him a computer for Christmas
that's
or
right.
for his birthday. It had 5 kilobytes of memory in it.
He taught himself, so he bought a programming manual and he taught himself how to code. And then what he did was he sold that code as a basic video game and sold it for $500.
Yeah, called Blaster.
Yeah.
And you know how long it took him to learn coding?
How long?
3 days. He didn't sleep for 3 days, and he learned the program basic.
What am I doing with my life?
His own goddamn computer.
Yeah, but is he a plumber?
So
I'm
not even going to touch that.
So
Elon Musk, if you're listening to this, I'm calling you out. So's Mark.
Yeah.
You can't plumb.
Yeah, you can't plumb. You're not even a roofer.
No. No, you can't. You cannot work your way around pipe.
Just to finally, because I don't want to focus on his dad, because I mean, from what I understand and from what we've talked about, his dad's a scumbag. So the less when Elon Musk left, his father would send him messages going, "You're never gonna make it. You're a bum. Like you're gonna be crawling back to me in no time."
That probably drove him even more, though.
Oh, straight up.
That negative influence in your life probably drove him insane to prove his dad wrong.
His first wife, and this is Elon Musk's first wife saying this, she and Elon agreed that their children would never meet his father.
Really?
Never. And they haven't, as far as I know. I could be wrong.
He probably has nothing to do with his father.
No, they're estranged. They're estranged.
Yeah. Which is,
yeah.
Hey, whatever. Does he still talk to his mom? His mom's still alive.
I'm pretty sure they talked to his mom. I mean, fuck, the parents separated, so his mom's like, welcome to the club. Right?
Come to the dark side, Elon.
Come to the light side. Like, fuck your dad.
Yeah,
Your
really.
dad's worse than Darth Vader. Like, Darth Vader never, like, pumped a baby inside his stepdaughter.
That we know of.
That we know of, yeah.
Like,
George,
we don't know how Luke was
that
born.
used to be that was in the original script for George Lucas, and then his editor went, "Wowie, wow, we can't have this."
No. If we're gonna sell this to Disney one day, we can't have this.
Yeah.
They were thinking light years ahead.
You're very clever.
So after he went on to, he sold Blaster for $500 at the age of 12.
Yeah.
To a PC magazine. He then went on to start X.com. Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so him and his partner started X.com, which then turned into and renamed to PayPal, was then sold to eBay for $1.2 billion. And Elon, after that sale, walked away with $120 million in his pocket. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He also started... what was it called? He started a program software that would basically map out cities for like newspapers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He sold that for, now don't quote me on this, like another $100 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time before he was 30, he had a very, very wealthy fortune in his pocket.
And it was really interesting, his choices of study, because he went to the United States because and he could have gone to Canada because his mom is a Canadian, so
he went to Queens.
Yeah, and then he looked at the United States and he went, that's a market waiting to like explode, so I'm going to get in there. I forget what he enrolled in a program, and then he dropped out because he wanted to invest in the internet.
Oh, really?
In 1995, he dropped out, and he I think he helped found PayPal.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, he sold it in what was it, 2002, I think. My mic is not picking up. It's picking up off your mic.
Is it really? God damn it. Do you want to pause there?
Hello?
Is it working now? Please tell me it's working. I'm going to be really butthurt if, like, we have to start all over.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, extraterrestrials?
Coming in hot!
Elon Musk, is this you?
Hello?
The intergalactic government has decided to immigrate you.
To Mars?
My bathroom.
Oh! Plum, Elon.
That's right.
Okay, I think it's working now.
You've got the hands of a plumber.
Talk to me, baby.
Okay, so where did we leave off?
So we were talking about how he dropped out of college, university in the United States because he wanted to invest back into the internet.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
What I really admire about him is that him and his brother Kimball and his brother Greg started Zip2, which is a web software company with money raised from a small group of angel investors.
That's what it was.
Do you know what an angel investor is?
Yeah, it's
an investor who invests with on goodwill with no intention of making that money back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna
just capital funding for
an angel investor, known as a business angel, informal investor, angel funder, private investor, or seed investor, is an individual who provides capital for a business startup, usually in exchange for convertible debt or ownership equity. So I am wrong.
Yeah. So if I gave you $100 to start a business, you'd give me a certain percentage of that business, or an interest rate on that money back, right?
Yes.
So he started those two companies. I mean, he became really successful prior to him even turning 30.
Yeah.
And then when most people would kind of just stop there and go, okay, I have basically $250 million sitting into the bank. I'm richer than 90% of the United States. He could have just sat on a beach and lived his life.
He could have. I mean, I don't like playing what ifs. I mean, so
it's just not his MO.
What I have, because for the listeners, just reading about him, I have come full circle. I made the mistake of listening to people who did not like Elon, so I got a very biased. And I mean, it's fair. He wasn't. I mean, this has nothing to do with his business acumen, but he hasn't always been the best dad, or even the doting husband. But aside from that, what I admire, what makes him stand out from Elizabeth Holmes completely is that while he was making companies, he was sleeping on a couch while he was making these businesses with his brothers. He was sleeping on a couch. He would go to the YMCA just to shower.
Did you hear? He vowed that he was going to spend $1 a day.
Wow!
Because he said if he could figure out how to spend $1 a day, he would be successful, and if he didn't and he lost everything, he knew that he could live on $1 a day.
That's pretty ambitious, yeah.
It's incredible, though. So even when he had hundreds of $1 millions sitting in his bank account, he wanted to test himself before he went into a venture that he could possibly lose everything.
Yeah.
And spent $1 a day.
Yeah, from Elizabeth Holmes, he put his money where his mouth was, almost quite literally.
Absolutely, 100%. He started SpaceX.
Yeah.
Maybe we can jump into this later, but when he started SpaceX, he had $120 million and no investors. He was the sole capitalist of that company. Yeah. Right. They had 3 failed launches, which basically bankrupted him. He had, $75 million sitting in the bank left.
Wow.
And luckily he had enough resources because it cost about $90 million to fire off a rocket. And I remember watching the video of them firing off the 4th rocket, and he was sitting there so calmly watching this rocket go up, and if it didn't, he would have lost everything. He would have had no leg to stand on. And luckily, at the end of the day, it went up, it came back down.
Partnership with NASA, didn't he?
Yeah, after that rocket launch, NASA gave him a $12 billion contract or something like that.
Man.
SpaceX went from basically nothing to a $12 billion valuation within, months.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
Yeah. So,
Can we talk about Tesla?
yeah.
So when Tesla was founded in 2003, I believe, they came out with their first car, which was the Sportster convertible Roadster. They actually had a lot of demand, surprisingly, but their problem was their quality.
Can I ask you a question? He did not found Tesla, right? How did he come to be a CEO of it?
He's the CEO, co-founder.
Oh, he is a co-founder,
and he's also the engineering. What do you call it? He basically helps design the vehicles of what he wants them to look like and how they want them to operate, basically. So he's got a lot of roles in Tesla.
What, in your opinion, made Tesla, even from then until now, what makes them stand out from their competitors? Because in my opinion, you'll have, I think especially today, vehicles don't market themselves in terms of performance, but in manufacture. So for example, GM, they have and I'm not trying to be racist, and you might edit this out, but you watch the commercials and it's a white guy driving a truck and you've got this dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, music in the background, and he's driving on an open road and the camera's swilling and the truck is turning and it's built tough, last long. And
in the country
and
hills
then you have German cars which tout them, and I mean it's again I'm not they tout themselves on their performance and their manufacturer. Kia, Asian manufacturers brag about having
safety features, and cheapness and reliability.
What makes Tesla, because I actually will be honest, I've never seen a Tesla car commercial,
and you won't,
and I won't. Why is that?
Tesla brands itself as one of those companies it's new, it's innovative, it's luxury, and it doesn't need to really run a commercial like, say, Ford or GM will. Ford and GM, they apply to people who are going to sit on the couch and watch TV, see a commercial, and go, oh, hey, I want a new truck. Just like you said, the demographic that they appeal to speaks volume into their commercials, right? So,
fair, makes sense.
Like you said, when you see a minivan commercial, chances are you could get a family that's sitting on the couch watching a movie or watching a TV show, and all of a sudden a minivan commercial comes on. Do you think those people that are going to be sitting on a couch is going to go out and buy a $160,000 Model X?
No,
you know what I mean?
I do.
I think Tesla has really grown as a brand as
an elite kind of car.
Yeah, they've cornered the market to the point where they're advertising as an electric vehicle that's a luxury base and is going to be around forever and is really changing the game of things, right? So you're not really buying a Tesla because you're seeing commercials of it. You're buying Tesla because now it's become a status quo. If you drive a Tesla, you're helping the environment, you're luxury, you're on top of the world. That's kind of how they're selling it. If you look at companies like Lamborghini and Ferrari, you'll never ever see a TV commercial of those kind of exotic cars.
No, you won't.
Because Lamborghini came out one day and somebody asked them, why do you never see a Lamborghini commercial on TV? Never a TV commercial. And they go, do you think our people who can afford a Lamborghini are sitting on the couch
to watch,
or sitting on the couch watching TV? Do you think that's really our demographic? So
no, I suppose not. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
But I think Tesla really grew because Elon was behind the wheel of it.
What did he bring to the table? He co-founded it, but what did he foresee that electric, and especially now, people, I can't speak for other people, but for me, being conscientious of the environment and having a car that's really good on gas, because I can't afford a Tesla. I'd love to have one, but I obviously can't afford one.
Why would you like to have one, though?
Because it's good for I want an electric car. I saw a video of 60 billion tons of oil just being like it was on a freighter, and the freighter just sank into the ocean.
Yeah.
Did you see that video?
No.
There's
no,
like literally
that's disgusting.
it's 60 billion, like maybe not 60 million tons of oil, oil just fell right into the ocean. Like you can see it just sink. It just sinks right, and like I don't know, like the billionaire, the tycoons, the oil tycoons are just sitting there going, "C'est la vie."
Yeah. Well, we got to go mine more now.
Right.
They just don't give a fuck.
They don't, and I like that. I can't. Maybe I don't know. Does Elon care about the environment?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But can I ask you a question?
You may.
You can buy a Prius.
That's not a question.
You could buy a Chevy Volt.
Again, that's not a question.
But why wouldn't you? You could buy a Nissan Leaf.
I will be honest, I
price.
haven't looked into a Prius or those other brands you've mentioned.
Yeah. But
what do you think about the Cybertruck? Oh.
Okay. When I first saw it, I'm like, Elon is batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I still think he is a little bit.
Oh, come on, man. He's like Nikola Tesla, but more in tune with like the human consciousness, whereas Nikola Tesla was like, he loved pigeons.
Yeah, he was just Elon is on a whole nother level, and with the Cybertruck looking the way it is, you can tell he's inspired by Mars, and he's just
Isaac Asimov.
Yeah, like he's just designing trucks that he's like, you know what, when I go to Mars, I'm gonna bring this.
The Cybertruck is electric, isn't it? Or is it like,
fully electric?
Oh wow, okay.
But what's crazy though is you can buy this truck with a single motor, and it basically tows more than a Ford F-150 or like a Dodge 1500.
Do you think? I mean,
and it's electric.
So do you think that's because we will never know until it comes out? So like, do you think it'll live up to its name? Or do you think like there'll be caveats? Yes, it can pull more than an F-150, but it has to be going downhill.
So, did you see the keynote of the Cybertruck when it released?
I saw the video of Elon saying it's bulletproof, and then they like dropped a ball on the window, and it just like went right through the.
Well, they took a sledgehammer to the driver's side window.
That's right. Yeah. And then he went whoopsies.
Well, he hit it a couple times, right? And then it ended up going through, and he was like, well. It's because we shot it with a gun first and it punctured.
Oh fuck! Come on, Elon.
But no, they took the Cybertruck and they took the Ford F-150.
Yeah.
And they hooked it up to each other and had like a tow.
I don't trust
challenge.
that.
No?
No, because we don't know. He might have fucked around with that F-150 before.
He could have.
So what I'm just saying is when and it's very inspiring. I mean, it's an electric truck pulling something really heavy, like that's very impressive.
Yeah.
I hold reservations until it's released on the market and a guy like you and me buys it and then tries it and then finds out the hard way.
But he's lived up to everything that he's done so far with the Model S and the Model 3.
Has he though?
The Model Y. He has a lot of high ambitions and unrealistic goals that he sets for himself, and he nails them out of the park every fucking time.
I wouldn't say nail it out of the park. He does a good job, but he's not like Babe Ruthing like every single. He doesn't like wake up and like make toast and then he Babe Ruths that shit like out of it. Like he's just a person. I understand he's incredible.
Yeah, he bleeds red. We all get it, but like he's like, you know what? We're going to wake up and this quarter we're going to sell 300,000 Teslas. And he goes out to sell like 380,000. Every single fucking
I know,
time.
but here's what. So, okay. So now we're getting into it deeper.
Yeah, we're going deep, people.
Deeper. I don't know.
Will Arnett, is that you?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to keep that in. I feel like he has too many pokers in the fire.
Okay, actually, can we go back?
Yeah.
Like a couple minutes ago. Why would you buy a Tesla over a Prius or a Chevy Volt or a Nissan Leaf?
I like the look of them, and if I like the look of it and it's an electric vehicle, I want it. Like I said, I'm very conscientious of what we are doing to the environment. I go on the news and it'll say, 150-ton iceberg broke away and is like melting, and I go, fuck, like every day.
Doesn't it just tear your heartstrings apart when
and then you see
that polar bear
just swimming out in like the middle of the ocean with nothing in sight?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, it's damn
sad.
depressing.
It is sad. It's very, very sad.
But what I'm asking is, why wouldn't you buy something that's a third of the price that's going to help the environment just as
if he
much
sold
as
it
a Tesla?
if he sold it at the third of a price, I'd buy it.
But what, you wouldn't buy the Chevy Volt?
Can you pause this? Can you pull up a Chevy Volt for me, please? To
Oh,
cure world hunger or buy that car, I'd cure world hunger, but just barely.
Okay, so Mark has now seen the Chevy Volt, so you just don't like the look of it.
I do not like the... Yeah, dude, it looks... like, what the fuck is that?
Okay, and this is kind of what I'm going off of.
Anyone who buys a Chevy Volt is a wonderful person, and they are more than that.
Shout out to Chevy for making a Volt. No, but here's the thing. This is why Tesla doesn't have to market anything, because they sell such a status that's linked to Tesla. The market has really shifted to the point where people aren't buying based on price. People are buying based on status and feeling and emotion.
It's always been
how
like
long
that.
it's going to last. You know what I mean? So
the majority of customers buy based on feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so most employers, most companies like bank on that. So they market, like they milk the shit out of that.
You buy feeling, not a product, and that's why Tesla, I think, has grown so dramatically so quickly.
Do you think Elon would be wise to go, hey, I'll make a commercial product that's available, that's reasonably priced?
He is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is that the Cybertruck?
No. So Elon has the last Tesla keynote that they had a couple weeks ago. He came out and did you see it at all? No. It's actually hilarious. So at the very beginning of the keynote, the co-founder comes out. I forget his name now, but one of the co-founders comes out and he's talking, and it's just the camera's focused on him, right?
Yeah.
And he's talking, and he's like, "Hey, thank you everyone for coming out. Do these hard times. I know everybody couldn't make it. Yada yada yada." And he's going on, and then he's like, "I just want to give a shout out to everybody. Just make sure that you're all here." And the camera turns around and goes to the parking lot, and everyone that's there is sitting in a Tesla. And they're all lined up in a parking lot to keep the social distancing.
Okay,
so they're not sitting in chairs; they're sitting in Teslas.
He did have that stupid opinion on COVID-19. Yeah. You know, like Cody was saying, you can't always knock him out of the park. Sometimes you fumble that ball, and you.
Well, at least he didn't come out and say, if you drink Lysol, it'll cure you, right? So
I know, but he said something really interesting. He supports universal income.
A lot of billionaires do.
So a lot of billionaires support it because I think it's a very how do I want to word this? It's something that's really cool that a billionaire says, and then when somebody says, "Okay, well, we'll tax you to make sure it happens," they go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Well, hang on a second. I've been putting in a lot of legwork for this.
Right. It's nice he says he supports it, but well, put your money where your mouth is, right?
Do you think it's fair though that someone like Elon, who works 100 hours a week,
he's definitely doing more than Elizabeth Holmes ever did with her life.
But for both of us, he puts in more work than both of us combined.
Perhaps,
just money wise, and how much he's
for sure.
worth.
I mean, yeah.
So do you think it's fair to him to penalize him because 100,000 other Americans aren't doing nearly as much as they could be?
Here's what I would say. Don't think of it as so much like a penalty or a punishment. If I was in Elon Musk's position, what I would do is I would make sure, and this is something Jeff Bezos has really fucked up, and it could have been amazing PR if he did it. Make sure all of his employees get health benefits. Make sure they're paid maybe don't pay them 9 times more than his competitors pay their employees, but maybe 1.5 times. Make it look really good that he looks like he cares, because the people love that. I like that. I like it when companies treat their employees not like pack mules that once their legs break, you shoot them in the head and then get another one, right?
Yeah, time to go buy another mule.
Right. So if he did that, that would be great. Secondly, if if there is universal income, it means people would be more able to afford his products. Right? Because, like,
Fair.
think about,
Yeah.
like, so yeah, he's paying more in taxes, but he's still making bank. He's still making crazy money. It's not like they take all of his money and then he's, like, back to square one, sleeping in apartments, showering at the YMCA, right?
Yeah.
He's still very wealthy. His companies are still making crazy money. It becomes, what is the difference between having $90 billion and then, like, $500 billion? Like, think about it. Like, honestly, think about it. I mean, some people go, wow, you could buy continents with that. But, like, legally, you can't.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, like, having, like, Elon Musk money and Jeff Bezos money, it becomes, yeah, Jeff Bezos is, I mean, he's going to be the first trillionaire in history.
Yeah, easily.
Easily.
I think Elon isn't diluted by money, though. I think to him, money is just a resource that helps him make his dreams come true. Right?
I don't know. If he did that, yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
But going back to Tesla is coming out with a very, very affordable sedan
Yeah.
soon, 2022. You'll be able to buy one for as low as $30,000.
Oh, I might get one after my Kia
If
pooch
anybody-
screws the pooch.
Yeah. But okay, so let's go back to Elon because
I want to. So we talked about the Tesla, which is pretty bitchin', but I think this is where it transcends. So what makes me interested in him is that like I'm stabbing the desk with my finger. This is what makes him different from like other billionaires. He's like, he goes, being on Earth is cool. And then he like turns to Mars, and then like Mars looks back at him, and then he just like, and it's like that painting where like God and like Adam are like touching
fingers, and there's a spark in between them.
Yeah. He wants to take the human race to Mars.
Do you want to hear something cool?
Come on, man. That's why I'm here.
His cubicle office at SpaceX, he's got two posters hanging up on the left and right hand side.
One is a kid that says "Hang in there, champ."
No, I wish that'd be so. That's in the front of him. One, so the left side is a photo of Mars that one of the rovers took from NASA.
Yeah.
Just a blank canvas. And then to the right of him is his dream of when he colonizes Mars and how he wants Mars to look like.
Do you think it'll happen in our lifetime?
What, that he's going to colonize Mars?
Because, okay, let's put quote unquote colonize. What do you count as colonizing?
Setting up some kind of life system support on Mars.
Because I think we should. I think it's very. I mean, there are humans that would do it. I think we should be able to first. Can we get a rocket and have human beings survive that rocket? Because like, I wonder if like, and this is something I always think about. Like, what can you imagine if like you and I and like 100 other people go there, and then we're all excited, and how long would it take for a rocket?
4 years.
4 years. Can you imagine? What if somebody dies on the way there?
360
What if like 10 people die on the way there? What if it turns into
the rocket?
Yeah, like it turns into like some Lord of the Flies shit where like.
But that's just exploration.
It's like it's so juicy.
Okay, so that'd be like, okay, let's go back like
Did
200 years.
Might pick that up.
I really hope so. I'm keeping that in there. Mark was flipping his tongue. Think about it this way: 200 years ago or 300 years ago, whenever the fuck Christopher Columbus went over. Imagine the people that were in the village and was like, dude, you're gonna take that ship, like that wooden ship, and you're gonna travel how far?
Well, it's because people.
What?
So what I'm saying is, people have been doing shit like that. The Phoenicians have been. You don't know who the Phoenicians are, but
not a clue.
Just they imagine a people from like not East Asia, but like close to where the Middle East is. They settled in Jerusalem, Carthage, like all. Do you know where? So you know where the boot of Italy is?
Yeah.
And you know how like Northern Africa is like separated, like there's both of them are split in between like bodies of water, the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah. The Phoenicians like settled basically most of Northern Africa.
Oh, okay.
And they were traders. They were amazing traders.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, people, because like I feel like pirates have been around as long as ships can float on water.
Yeah.
Which is a really long fucking time.
So to put it in perspective, because in 2012, Elon launched his first successful rocket. Within 8 years, he has learned how to reuse rockets.
He hasn't. His company has.
SpaceX has learned how to reuse rockets, reuse boosters, and has sent 2 NASA astronauts to the International Space Station and brought them back safely.
Yeah, but that's super easy. I can do that.
What the fuck are you doing here then?
I don't have to answer that question. So I plead the fifth.
In 8 years, you think that he can go from launching a failed rocket 3 times to taking 2 astronauts from NASA to the International Space Station? What can he do in the next 8 years with all the money and all the support behind him and his team that he has?
How about instead of if he succeeds, how long until he does? Like, when do you think, like, what year is it going to be? You're going to wake up and you're going to hear the news. You're going to see, like, on the news, humans colonize Mars, new frontier.
I don't know. I like, Elon's not going to stop until he does it, so I wouldn't be surprised if 15, 20 years.
Do you think COVID has definitely put, like, a cock block into, like, having that happen?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I think COVID has affected a lot of industries, and I don't think it's affected space exploration as much as we feel it has to the rest of the economy. They're not so worried about publicizing or having, the public entities go into those kind of facilities that they really need.
Do you think, because you and I have seen the video, our viewers probably haven't, there was that video I showed you. It's by a YouTube channel called Kurzgesagt. Very difficult to spell. Pretty sure it's German. Pretty sure.
What video?
Remember the video where they was like almost like an inter.
The
sling.
Yeah.
Super. It's to explain it like I'm 5. Because Cody and I, believe it or not, are not scientists of any kind whatsoever.
I know. It's surprising.
So the way the theory works is you will have a sling orbiting that orbits Mars and a sling that orbits Earth. And the idea is, in a nutshell, one rocket, if it's leaving to travel to leave Earth to travel to Mars, it will use its rocket propulsion to reach the sling. The sling will catch it. The sling will orbit around Earth in the direction, and then once it reaches the direction of Mars, it'll throw the rocket, and the rockets won't have to expend fuel because the sling is throwing that shit.
It'll use momentum, and basically since gravity is 0 and there's no resistance in space, it'll basically use that propulsion all the way to Mars.
Yeah, and then the Mars sling will catch it, sling it back down, and then if a ship wants to leave Mars, it just goes in that same sling, and then that sling throws it back to...
Yeah.
Which is... it's so ambitious. It's so cool.
So Elon has kind of already, and SpaceX and NASA have thought about this design.
Have they?
Yeah, so what they're thinking is not so much have it orbit around Earth, but they know that they can reach the moon, and the moon is basically going to be a center hub because it's closer to Mars than Earth is, right? And they're finding it's going to be a lot easier to leave the moon to travel to Mars than to leave Earth.
Yeah, because you got to go through the atmosphere, the stratosphere, all the spheres.
There's a lot of spheres out there apparently.
Yeah.
So that's why Elon is basically having a time slot for we have to go to the moon first. Once we get to the moon, we're gonna set up base camp there and have some kind of launch pad that's outside of the moon's orbit somehow, and launch from there. So I think he's going to do it. I think he's got a lot of really knowledgeable people behind him.
Oh, he would have to.
And just his work ethic, if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's going to be him and his team.
Straight up, yeah.
So,
very inspiring person. The complete opposite of our contender. So if there was a boxing fight, Elizabeth Holmes would have tried to cheat, and Elon
just with a sucker punch.
Yeah, it's just not even a soccer punch. The round starts, Elon Musk ducks and weaves and doing the rope-a-dope shit, and just takes her out, and she's on the canvas just bent in half.
It'd be I could picture Elon just roundhouse kicking her, and then when she's bleeding out on the ground, he's just Roadhouse.
The people's elbow. He does Macho Man Randy Savage.
And then screams at the people and goes, "Woo! You're a brother! You smell what the Rock is cooking."
I do.
It's musky.
Omelets.
Omelets. Egg whites. Oh, what do you think Elon eats?
Probably not a good diet.
I've seen him drink a lot of pop.
I've seen his body, and I go, whew.
Yeah.
And I thought
That's a man of 100-hour work week.
I thought I was bad. How many times do you think he goes to the gym? 0?
I don't think he works out, to be honest. I
think he really should. I've stressed this before, but I think people need balance.
Yeah. I don't think he needs balance, though. I think to him, his balance is working.
You said all that
dream.
poppy drinks. I think because when you're healthy, like you think better.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he was?
I think he's just
if he just ate like super holistically, and like he didn't have to like have like a workout ethic like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he's like trying to like he doesn't count his reps until his arms are like basically dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Just burning, his arms are gonna explode. He's like 1.
Rapping till failure just sucks, man.
Yeah, it hurts.
It hurts, but
a lot.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger said like that's the difference between somebody who gains and somebody who doesn't is like the one. I think Ronnie Coleman said everybody wants big biceps, but ain't nobody want to lift big weights.
That was Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
His voice never matched his body.
No, it never did.
No.
He was a cop.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Have you seen him in his uniform? His shorts are like hugging his like thighs. It's like amazing.
Yeah, honestly, I think Elon is just wired to the point where his dreams fuel his fire.
How did I this is something I want to talk to you about, and this isn't have you heard of his company OpenAI?
Yeah.
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 How do you feel about his opinions on artificial intelligence?
Was he the one that said that AI is going to wipe out the human race if we don't get behind it?
Oh, a lot. I think Stephen Hawking has said that.
Stephen Hawking's actually said that we're going to overpopulate our Earth, and that's going to be our demise.
Of course.
Which is true. I mean, it's already closely happening. But no, I think Elon he said he was scared of AI, and that's why he wanted to research it so badly.
Well, it makes sense. How do you feel? Because Cody and I have discussed this off the podcast, but how do you feel about using AI to enhance the body? So, like, let's say you're somebody who, you want to lift weights, you want to lift big weights, but, you've worked out really hard, but you just can't. What if you get a chip in your brain that, just kills the limits that your body has, and you physically enhance yourself with AI? Or you think better, or you think faster. What do you think? How do you feel about genetic engineering?
Have you seen the Limitless movie? Kind of like that?
No, I've never seen that.
Oh, you should watch that movie. I think that if that's ever going to be a thing, there's going to be a lot of detrimental health effects and side effects that are going to come with it.
I think when they first release, I agree with you. But what if, because as science goes on, it gets better and better.
Well,
you and I aren't going to be around to see it. Or if we do see
absolutely.
it,
we'll be stupidly old. I think that they need to figure out how to tap into more than just 10% of our brain. I
think that's a myth. I think I read that's a myth.
Really?
The 10% thing. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if you want to pause it right now, honestly, I'm pretty sure it's a myth.
I ain't gonna pause this. This is gonna be organic. Let's see here.
Is 10% brain power a myth?
Is 10% brain power a myth? Let's see. The 10% of the brain myth is a widely perpetrated myth that most or all humans only use 10% or a small percentage of their brains. It has been misinterpreted to many celebrated people, notably Albert Einstein.
Well, there you go.
So I guess it isn't a myth, but
I know what you mean, because it happens with have you seen those guys who are able to take a frying pan and bend it into a little tube?
Yeah.
So I guess they have their because normally most people have their bodies have their brain has a breaker where if you're trying to do something super heavy, your brain goes, oh fuck, stop that, you're going to hurt yourself. And then some people do not have those breakers, so they're able to contract their muscles.
Your mind is such a powerful thing, though. If you're at the gym and go, well, this looks like a lot of weight, I don't think I'm going to be able to lift it, you're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't remember where I was going with this.
No, you were so
My brain
brain
stopped.
power myth. You look at big weight, you're going to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I think the mind is such a powerful thing that I think, like all of us, we get into our head so easily. I think mindset is such a huge thing. So if you look at,
do you think that's what separates? Sorry to interrupt you. That's why Elon Musk is so popular, because he doesn't necessarily apply that to like physical attributes. He looks at a problem and he goes surpass it.
Yeah.
And his brain doesn't even think about what ifs or like the what hows. It just does it, and he doesn't care about.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, I asked somebody the other day, because I won't say names, but she was talking about, I'm worried about putting all this money into my house because she's making a rental property. And I looked at her and I said, well, if I told you to give me $10,000, I'd give you $50,000 back in 5 years, would you do it? And she's like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I? And I'm like, exactly. People look at risk and go, well, this could happen, I could lose all my money. Elon looks at it and goes, I'm going completely 100% in, and if I lose all my money, well, then I will.
My professor, when I was in college, he asked the class, would you rather have $10 now or wait like 2 weeks and get $12?
Yeah.
And most people said, the $10 now.
Yeah.
And he just said, but why? Like, you're getting $12. I mean, and obviously, like, most people would pick the $10 because it's like the proportion of like
instant
10.
gratification.
Yeah, the instant gratification, and $12 isn't that much more than 10.
Yeah. But it's 20% on your money.
It is. But people don't, think on that.
It's a huge percentage.
It is.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I think Elon people look at him as, like he's an alien and completely out of this world.
Nikola Tesla definitely was like, holy reading about him, oh man.
But I think people just don't step out of the boundaries as much as people should nowadays. People are happy with comfortability and happy with working 9 to 5 and not taking a risk or a gamble.
I just think because, especially in the economy, it's getting like more cornered and cornered and cornered. So like you can have an amazing idea, and then like some $1 billion company goes, thanks, Cody Smith, and just like snatches it from you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they don't snatch it. Obviously, they buy it from you.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, you're right. There's so many big companies out there now that have billions and billions of dollars behind them, like to
Disney.
Research,
oh my god, you do anything
and
creatively, Disney's gonna go, that's a really nice thing you got there.
Yeah.
Be a shame if something happened to it.
Swipe.
Pretty much.
All of a sudden, Cody Smith just goes missing because he
not
had
even
a really
Smith.
good idea.
He go like I'd love to do an episode on Disney. Like creatively, I think there's like a law. After 50 years, your intellectual property, so like Mickey Mouse, becomes public domain, and Disney has, through their lawyers, has like year after year after year has pushed that and pushed that and pushed that.
Yeah.
Which is just like,
they got a lot of money.
God, man. God, their lawyers are just probably like sharks.
I will say one thing though. I think, and I thought about this morning, reading about Elon.
Sure.
I think passion equals money for a lot of people.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like, if Elon wasn't passionate about doing what he's doing right now, I don't think he'd be nearly as successful as he is.
Yeah, and I think he wears his origins on his sleeves, which makes him stand out from some of the other billionaires.
Yeah, I think he's very down to earth.
Maybe not down to earth. Come on, he gave his kid some crazy fucking name. Like, let's stop this. Stop. Nope. I'm
Come
caught.
on, he called his kid Nevada. It's a bad thing.
No, the other kid, like, we gave him some stupid, ridiculous name.
X1.
Yo, fuck, man. And then he's, the wife, it was her idea. It's like,
God damn it, Grimes, what were you thinking?
Like, I would have been like, Grimes, that's a really great idea. So I'm going to call my can opener that, and I'm going to give my kid a real fucking name.
We're going to put that into the jar of names, and
I can't believe, I don't even know if the United States Child Safeties Act was like, that's a cool name, we're cool with that.
Yeah,
I bet you they are though, because he's like a billionaire. So he goes, here's $3 million.
You know how much I pay in taxes a year, motherfucker?
Probably not a lot, but he's probably not as much as you and I are comparatively.
Yeah, no, not even a near percentage. But
yeah, like but at least he's not Donald Trumping that shit. 750.
That's true.
Which is just like over 15 years. I'm like, that's fucking nuts, man.
There was a hilarious quote that I read of him in an interview, and they said, "What's it take to start a rocket company? Like, how did you start it?" And he's like, "Well, it takes a large fortune to build a small one."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. So basically, he's lost a shit ton of money, but he's having fun doing it.
Good for him.
You know what I mean?
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him, Governor.
Is this where you want to leave off?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have anything else to really touch on. I mean, I think one thing to take away from it is not necessarily the work ethic and that Elon does. I mean, I don't recommend anybody going out and working 100-hour work weeks and diving as much into what he's done.
I mean, if you can do that if you are prepared to not be a father or a husband. Yeah. And I don't mean that meanly. Like, I straight up feel like, because like you've only got so many hours. Like, you can't do everything. Yeah, you can't. So if you're going to put 100 hours in, you have to realize that maybe your kids grow up and maybe they're grateful for all the wealth you have and for all the opportunities they get through you. Yeah. But, you know, maybe there won't be any like fishing trip moments in their life or, you know, stuff
taking
like
the kids
that.
To soccer practice and shit like that. I think I don't want to say that people need to go out there and grind and hustle and, you know, work 100-hour work weeks to become successful.
I think
you just need to work smart, and I think the small changes need to be persistent.
Or if you are going to put in that hour, just be prepared for sacrifice.
Yeah, because, I mean, you have to take it somewhere. I read a good, I saw a good illustration in a podcast that I was listening to, and it was juggling the glass balls of life. And basically, you know, you have work, you have friends, you have family, and you have self-improvement, and you have your health. And basically, it was saying that, you know, you can juggle all these balls, but if you drop one's going to break. But the only one that really matters in life that's going to break and really hurt how you feel inside, and it goes differently for person to person, but the example was, if you drop your family, that's the only glass ball that will shatter. Yeah. If you drop your business, you can always pick it back up or start again.
That's a really good point.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So just kind of take that into perspective. You know, you always need your friends and your family in your life, and I think that's a good balance to have.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Business Beavers podcast. It means the world to us that you listen to these episodes. We also love seeing you out there, so make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like this episode, or if you just like us. And make sure to browse through our previous episodes, because we got a ton of content coming up, and we did a ton of content, so make sure you check that out too, and we'll see you next week.